Greetings, it's Vital, aka Lucky Charm, your motivational spoken word artist. And I decided to step on the scene here today to do a little video outside of my little motor home. And you'll probably hear my little furball apprentice being quite vocal right now because he loves to do that when he knows that I'm on a video. But at any rate, I was going to do a video earlier today. I got a lot of stuff running through my dome. I was at the park and I decided though, the clutter in my car was bothering me, and so I decided to rid the car of a lot of the clutter. The thing is that the stuff that we see that show up on our outside world is basically letting us know what's going on the inside world, and I could definitely say that that's true. That there's a lot of things that loose ends that need to be tied up with certain circumstances in my life. This so-called pandemic and all this stuff is another whole issue that's going on. That I'm cool, but because I'm an empath, feeling the energies of other people when they feel fearful and stuff like that, I have to work on protecting myself or shielding myself, if you will, in the process, because fear itself it basically weakens the immune system, and when your immune system is weakened, then all kinds of illnesses take place because that's your defense system for your body. But at any rate, at this time, many people need to be pumping up their immune system at all times. If you're a smoker, if you're a drinker, you need to add some extra bumping up on your immune system. But some of the things I think about is like within my own life is like, life is life. We can try to plan things or whatever, but life is life. So sometimes part of the planning needs to be learning how to embrace life as life shows up with us. And yes, life has a lot of encrypted codes, if you will, that is bringing, that we have to sometimes pull back and decipher, and so at any rate, right now there's a lot of things that I know that I'm working on, and I know that everybody else is working on their individual things, and which makes it even more so of a situation when you're dealing with financial situations in the middle of being concerned about your health and your family's well-being and stuff like that, and still trying to keep your joyful side up. All these things can weigh in if you're not mindful about looking after yourself. The other thing that a lot of people may have not really paid much attention to is the youth during these times and stuff. I always said that with this situation, I'm like, just the if you take time out to really think about how the mindset of a child is, and you think like they for the school time, for the term, while they were in school and this thing came about, all they know is they go to school and they see their friends, their classmates becomes their friends to them, and then when they go to the park, they get to play with other kids, other children rather, and they have a good time interacting with other children, and then all of a sudden you get this thing, saying that they can't go back to school, and now they gotta interact with their people that they came to know as their friends over the phone and a tablet and stuff like that. And then the one thing that I heard, because the child that was around me kept asking, like the children that was in the video class, kept asking, when are we going back to school? When are we going to go back to school? And that's, for somebody like me who values education, that was kind of painful for me, because I grasp also what it feels like to not really comprehend a lot of the craziness that adults do when they cause changes to occur, unnecessary changes. And I'm not saying that was not one, but it's just like when you go deeper behind all the craziness that how stuff come about, 9 times out of 10, some adult has made some crazy decisions to cause certain things to be even active, to even cause these other things to come into play, or whatever. And then somebody comes into their mindset to say, oh, well, we'll do it this way and everybody will be okay. And then it's like, it's a whole nother ball game. And when you look at this situation, it's like it has a bunch of holes in it like Swiss cheese. So it's like you're creating somewhat of a division in that process also, because of the point that one side of people are believing one thing, and then other people are looking at, okay, well, we check, some people go and do further researching and whatever, and like, okay, all this stuff doesn't make sense and whatever. All right, because you're looking at the point, okay, well, we have a crisis. You say it's a crisis, and yet the economy needs money, and in order for the economy to have money, the people need to be able to work, but they cannot work if certain conditions and threats are out there as far as their health and their well-being, or even if their jobs is not even like able to run. There's a lot of businesses that's gone out of business, with the particular situation that's at hand. Which if there's a business that goes out of business, that affects somebody's money. That affects not just one person, but there's people attached to that business, and there's lives attached to the fundings that was coming out of there. And that's why I like to always, when I do my videos, I like to tell everybody, thank you all for showing up. Thank you for your energy, because you could have been anywhere else, with your time. You could be doing something else instead of listening to me. And I want you to know that you're valued, your time is valued, your energy is valued, and I sincerely appreciate it. I appreciate your likes. I appreciate your subscribing to the video channel, so that you can hear more videos that come from me, because I do a variety of things, but the main thing you can say always is that it's going to be something within the realms of uplifting or in enjoying the process of what we have, life, even with the learning part of going through our shadows into working out so we can be a better person for ourselves and then a better person for the world. Now, and one of the things that's laying on my heart right now with the babies, make sure that with their being out and about, make sure that you're taking time out to make sure they're getting some sort of ongoing touching base with education, and let them have their fun, because you have to balance it out for them. You have to balance it out for them. Don't have them drill them with the same thing all day long or whatever. They got to have time for little breaks or whatever. But like right now, it's like normally, oh, it's the summer break, but they don't need to be doing this here. The more they get in their trust me, especially with the nonsense that just happened to them, the more of a remembering of the process of being educated that they have, the better it's going to be, because we don't know even what's going to happen for when they return back to school and stuff. If it's going to be a situation where they have to be still at some kind of distancing from one another. A lot of parents are not comfortable about sending their children back to be in a school setting with other kids or whatever, because of the point of fear. So make sure that they're getting some sort of education. Whenever there's children around me, anybody that know me know that the kids are going to be educated. Okay, the toys that they get, I try my best to make sure that the toys are educational toys. Like this right here, you can find. In fact, you can find these kind of things at a Family Dollar store, or one of those little dollar store things. And this right here is talking about, like, you see what that say? The guide to the sky. It's like letting you know about precipitation and the different forms of precipitations and the levels of what that is. This is something good for them to have around, and you touch base with them every now and then with it. This right here is talking about like the weather part of that. You see, there's the snow and whatever. These things are important. This right here is this right here is like $5 or something, like basically $6 after taxes and stuff. A lot of different. This is on first grade. You can find these things. They even have some stores that's totally dedicated for getting learning material that you can help your child out with. Now, um, that's for first graders, and then I got like a whole bunch of stuff to help out, because if children are going to be around me, they're going to get education and story time books and stuff like that, so they can learn how to improve with their reading and stuff like that, because it's essential. It's vital. It's vital. Okay. So that's with the babies. Make sure that you're also keeping in mind to talk with them. Sit down and talk with them, and talk about tomorrow. We're not saying tomorrow, the actual term tomorrow, but find out what their dreams are. Find out what their visions are. Find out what their likes are. I apologize for that. It's like a news station. Something must be an accident somewhere. Anyway, just find out these things, because it's very important, because they technically are the future. They are the future. The babies are the future. So basically, I just want everybody to be mindful about taking care of self, because if we don't preserve ourselves, we're no good for nobody else or anything else. If you got little ones or little ones around you, make sure that they are properly guided and taken care of, nurtured, and all those wonderful things. Make sure that they're always in the hands of good people, and that you're always, making sure that they have been, protected and everything. Let's see what else. Make sure that in your own mindset, that wherever you can, that you're building a legacy for them, so that you can leave a legacy for them. Because if anybody that's around you that's not supporting that, then they're not for you. They're not for you at all. They're for your pause. They're not for your cause. And you can do bad by yourself. If you just got to pay attention to the things that everybody contribute to your lives, to your life and everything, in your lives when you got children. Because I say this because of my upbringing, with my mom being the sole parent that had me and my brothers, in the environments that we were placed, in, the circumstances that we had to endure. It's like she did her best, but at some time, until she actually started drifting out, and then she didn't necessarily have us in the safest setups, and due to her trying to escape, if you will, because she did a lot of escaping from the problems and stuff that she had endured starting from a young age. She basically started building her life up after so much pain after pain. She decided to start like escaping, and she could be right there with you but be gone, mentally gone in her own little world, gone. And that's when you got little ones around, it's not just affecting you, it's affecting that child too. You gotta remember that, and that's what's laying heavy on my heart, in my spirit right now, that I have to say that, especially during these times, with all the craziness going on, and as adults need to manifest funds, if you will, for those who are in power, that are, let's not, as far as pointing the fingers and saying, and bashing and all that stuff. Right here, I'm squash that, because they say it's best to do things, smooth things over with honey, if you will, and instead of vinegar. Sometimes you gotta know when. We want to say in a humblest way, like, listen, here's the deal. This is what mind to mind. We all got minds, and a lot of people like to think that we don't know how to use our minds, so they have to use it for us and tell us how to think, how to do, run, eat, live, whatever. Okay, if you don't want people doing that for you, then you got to start speaking like we have some sense. We have to start talking like we have a mind, and we do have a mind. It's just that we don't got brainwashed, if you will, to act like we don't have a mind. And as long as we are doing everything else that does not develop our brain and mind capabilities, then that's what's going to be produced out of us. So keep that, be mindful of that in everything you do. Whatever, if it's taking too much of your time away from you developing yourself, I question that. I have to question that for myself. Like, okay, this is consuming too much of my time, and I need to see where the benefits coming. Where are the benefits going to what I need to do? Because I need to have a balance in my life. I got to have a balance. And for those that's within power, that my mom always said, for those that have the power to make changes and make decisions, keep in mind that the economy right now, we the people need the money in order to keep the economy stimulated. So I'm not sure what's going on with that second stimulus check. As long as the jobs and stuff and businesses, like certain businesses have closed down, as long as the jobs are limited for its hiring and stuff like that, because they're still trying to practice all the unnecessary requirements for handling the situation at hand with the pandemic and stuff. We still need to keep the economy going, so with all the differences and stuff, we can place that to the side and keep the one thing that is a common thing for us all, our livelihoods. Keep that going, because the money that the people put back into the businesses is helping the businesses, is helping the people that run the business with, like their livelihoods. It's a cycle that isn't broken. Okay, so I just wanted to say that real quick, and on that note, I'm going to just go ahead and say peace, love, namaste, Ashe.